your vision for both the company and also really this growing industry? Because to our earlier points, it seems like a lot more people are going to want to take advantage of the appreciation in their Bitcoin. They don't want to sell it. And so the solution is borrow against it.
Yes. So in terms of vision, I think that this is going to be a Bitcoin-backed loans is going to be $1 trillion market. And I think that for the first time in modern human history, you have an asset that a person in Barcelona can use to get a loan in the same way a person in Bogota can use it to get a loan. And today, someone in Colombia can borrow from Ledn with the same quality of service, same rate, same terms, same everything as somebody in, Spain, as somebody in the US. That is inclusion. That is financial inclusion today at play. And mortgages have been wildly successful for Americans. Stocks have been wildly successful for Americans. I'm not saying that those are bad things, but I'm saying that for now, right now, the scale of the transaction or the scale of this activity, which is borrowing dollars using a hard asset, for the first time, you're doing it with a hard asset that anyone can own and move in real time. So for us, we just want to do this better than anyone else. And will there be others? Sure, that you can come and try to offer Bitcoin-backed loans, but we will be the best, and we will maintain our lead. That is our job. That is our mission, to deliver the best Bitcoin-backed loan experience out there, and that's all we do.
How have you grown to the scale that you have? Like, how is there so much demand for this product?
Well, two things. One, the product works. So if you look at the price chart, since Ledn's been in business since 2018, every single person that has used their loans responsibly has done well because of the price appreciation of the underlying asset that they didn't sell. So the reason Ledn people use Ledn and keep coming back to Ledn is because Ledn works for them, and it's because they took out a loan. I'll give you an example. I had a client that needed to close on a house in fall of 2021 when everything was collapsing, when there were so many questions and everybody was nervous, but he really wanted the house, and he had been with us for years, and he was planning to take a loan. And even though there was a lot of uncertainty in the market, he came and he took it because he didn't want to sell his Bitcoin at 16K.
Yeah.
Took the loan, closed on the house, still has the loan, but he kept it. And over the next 2 years, the Bitcoin collateral appreciated by more than what he paid for the house.
Wow.
And so now he has the house and he has the Bitcoin. He's a very happy client, and he tells his friends what happened. And so his friends come to me and they say, I want to sell my Bitcoin to buy a house. Don't you dare. Check out Ledn first before you do that. And so that's why the product is captivating the minds of so many people, because the mortgage that we just discussed, created the wealth of basically all of the boomers. And so keep in mind, only boomers living in America, born in the right place at the right time, had access to that product. Now, anyone from Medellin to Miami can use my product to do a very similar transaction. Why is Ledn seeing so much growth? Ledn is seeing so much growth because we have proof of work. You don't define a good lender by how they're doing when things are up and to the right. That's not what makes a good lender. A lot of guys look great a few years ago and said all the right things and put all the right ads, only to let their clients down and set the industry back half a decade, right? We were never the loudest, the biggest spenders. We come from a culture of, we couldn't afford to make any mistakes in the beginning because we were always the little guy. And that gave us a discipline that I think is unmatched in the way, and our operational discipline is something that I'm immensely proud of. We were adding proof of reserves in 2019 when people were adding tokens. And people asked us, adding proof of reserves doesn't get you more revenue, right? Like, it's not something I can go and sell.
Right.
But it's the right thing to do.
Right.
And it's the right thing to do early, because when you lay proof of reserves at the foundation of the business, everything else you build on top of it has to fit into the product, into the process or the program. I'm shocked that we're seeing some lending companies come out in the market today without proof of reserves in 2025. I'm shocked. And I do think that they're going to be, the Bitcoin-backed loans are going to be the best, cheapest, and most convenient way to access capital globally in a long enough time frame. And the other point that I'll make when you're comparing interest rates, listen, if you can get 0% debt from anyone, take it. If you can get sub 5% debt from anyone, take it. Why? The US dollar is getting debased at approximately 8.5 to 10% year over year. And how you get there is you look at the projected deficit, which is roughly 2 trillion, over the M2 money supply, which is 22 trillion. So that's basically 8 to 10% that's getting debased. And if you look at other free markets meaning not manipulated by the government, right? Because mortgages are, the government has a heavy hand on the rates that mortgages go out at because they control the curve. If you look at free market products, i.e. Michael Saylor's or Strategy's latest offering STRC, that's going out at a 9% coupon. And so he and this secured by Bitcoin.
Yep.
In a publicly listed entity worth billions. And he's paying 9% plus administrative fees and carrying costs of the transaction, which would probably add another 1 point to that. So Michael's taking out money at 10, roughly. And most people out in the world, also keep in mind, Michael's product is only available to a select group of people. My product or our product is available to everyone.
Yeah.
And you're not that far off. So that's number one. And like I said, if you look at mortgages or if you look at unsecured, a lot of these companies, they'll have these promos to get you to roll your balance of your credit card, or they want to take your first loan and they'll give you a really sexy promotional rate. Take it. Take it, because if you know that the US dollar is getting debased at more than what they're charging you, if you invest that loan properly into a hard asset, you're likely going to do well. And the reason I feel so much conviction on this is because when the Venezuelan Bolivar was hyperinflating, my best trade ever before going long Bitcoin was going short the Venezuelan Bolivar using a dollar as an anchor.
Oh, wow.
So I would borrow dollars from the bank at 30%. Bolivares, I would borrow Bolivares from the bank at 30%, and I would invest them in dollars. And dollars were appreciating at 1,000% year over year.
Oh my gosh.
So for me, the 30% was a rounding error.
Exactly.
Now, it's not as dramatic in this example, but it's the same principle.
Right.
You're borrowing a weak asset that is by design getting debased, and you're using the proceeds to buy something that cannot be printed.
Right.
And that is no different than a mortgage. Because in a mortgage, you're taking a massive short on the dollar. You're buying a house with it.
Yeah.
You don't print the house. The house goes up 8% year over year. Your mortgage is between 5 and 6. 2% of that accrues to your equity value every year. And then 5 years from now, you think you're a genius.